Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, 4th Canto, chapter number 22, text number 9.
Taigi šiandien mūsų paskutinė Śrīmad Bhāgavatam paskaita Lietuvoje, skaito 4 giesmę, 22 skyrių, 9 klausimą.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Naiva lakshayate loko.
Naiva lakshayate loko.
Lokan paryatatopiyan.
Lokan paryatatopiyan.
Yatasardrisham sarva.
Yatasarvadrisham sarva.
Atmanam yesha hetava.
Atmanam yesha hetava.
Naiva lakshayate loko.
Naiva lakshayate loko.
Lokan paryatatopiyan.
Lokan paryatatopiyan.
Yatasarvadrisham sarva.
Yatasarvadrisham sarva.
Atmanam yesha hetava.
Atmanam yesha hetava.
Naiva lakshayate loko.
Naiva lakshayate loko.
Lokan paryatatopiyan.
Lokan paryatatopiyan.
Yatasarvadrisham sarva.
Yatasarvadrisham sarva.
Atmanam yesha hetava.
Atmanam yesha hetava.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prithu Maharaj continued, although you are traveling in all planetary systems, people cannot know you just as they cannot know the Supersoul, although he is within everyone's heart as the witness of everything. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the Supersoul. Purport. In the beginning of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, it is said, Muhyanti yat suryaha. Great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra and Chandra are sometimes bewildered trying to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It so happened that when Krishna was present on this planet, Lord Brahma and King Indra also mistook him. And what to speak of great yogis or jnanis who conclude that the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is impersonal. In this same way, great personalities and Vaishnavas, like the 4 Kumaras, are also invisible to ordinary persons, although they are traveling all over the universe in different planetary systems. When Sanatana Goswami went to see Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could not be recognized by Chandrasekhar Acharya. The conclusion is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart, and his pure devotees, the Vaishnavas, are also traveling all over the world. But those who are under the modes of material nature cannot understand the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of this cosmic manifestation, or the Vaishnavas. It is said, therefore, that one cannot see the Supreme Personality of Godhead or a Vaishnava with these material eyes. One has to purify his senses and engage in the service of the Lord. Then gradually one can realize who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and who is a Vaishnava.
Vertimas ir komentaras į dieviškas malonės Bhaktivedantos Swami Prabhupados. Притху Махараджа продолжал. Вы путешествуете по всем планетам Вселенной, но люди не видят вас, как не видят они их сверхдушу, хотя сверхдуша находится в сердце каждого живого существа и наблюдает за всеми его поступками. Даже Господь Брахма и Господь Шива не способны постичь сверхдушу. Комментарий. В начале Śrīmad Bhāgavatam сказано «Мухьянти ят сурая». Порой даже такие великие полубоги, как Господь Брахма, Господь Шива, Чандра и Индра, оказываются совершенно сбитыми с толку, пытаясь постичь верховную личность Бога. Так, когда Кришна находился на этой планете, Господь Брахма и царь Индра не распознали его. Что же тогда говорит о великих йогах и гьяни, которые приходят к выводу о том, что абсолютная истина, личность Бога безлична? Не только Кришна, но и такие великие вайшнавы, как четверо кумаров, остаются невидимыми для обыкновенных людей, хотя и путешествуют по всей Вселенной, посещая разные планеты. Когда Санатана Госвами пришел, чтобы увидеться с Господом Шри Чайтаньей Махапрабху, Чандрашекхара Ачарья не узнал его. Итак, Господь, Верховная Личность, пребывает в сердце каждого, а его преданные, вайшнавы, путешествуют по всему миру, однако люди, находящиеся под влиянием гун материальной природы, не способны распознать ни Верховную Личность Бога, источник мироздания, ни вайшнавов. Поэтому говорится, что Верховную Личность Бога или вайшнава нельзя увидеть материальными глазами. Чтобы увидеть их, необходимо очистить свои чувства и посвятить себя служению Господу. Тогда человек сможет постепенно осознать, кто такой Господь, Верховная Личность и кто такие вайшнавы.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Vadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Dam Sajivan Sadaitam Savadutam Varijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. So in this verse it is quite notable how the Vaishnavas are invisible. So invisible in one sense means that they're completely imperceivable. But as Prabhupada also gives the example of Sanatan Goswami, he was physically visible, but he was not recognizable. So invisible can be understood in both ways. Just like Prabhupada was seeing Lord Shiva coming to the kirtans in Berry Place Temple, ISKCON Temple in Berry Place. But the devotees, we could not see Lord Shiva. Prabhupada could see Lord Shiva was coming to the kirtans. And also in the Panihati Chidadadhi Mahotsava Lila, Chidadadhi Mahotsava Lila. You don't need to translate it, it's Bengali. Lord Chaitanya was coming and engaging in all sorts of funny pastimes with Lord Nityananda. Devotees could see Lord Nityananda,
Ir bhaktai galėjo matyti viešpatinį
but they
Nityanandą,
couldn't see Lord Chaitanya.
bet jie negalėjo matyti viešpatį Čaitanijos.
Lord Nityananda was putting chipped rice into the mouth of Lord Chaitanya,
Ir viešpats Nityananda dėdavo ryžius viešpačiui Čaitanijai į burną.
but all the devotees could see was him putting the chipped rice into the air. They couldn't see Lord Chaitanya.
Bet jie matydavo, kad ten yra tik oras, kad jisai maitina orą.
So that's one understanding of being invisible.
Taigi yra vienas iš supratimų, ką reiškia būti nematomu.
But the other understanding is you can see the person,
Kitas supratimas yra, kad jūs galite matyti asmenybę,
but you don't recognize him for what he actually is.
bet negalite suprasti, kas iš tikrųjų jis yra.
So we have so many devotees who go out preaching Krishna consciousness every day all over the world.
Ir mes matome, kad mes turim daug atsidavusių, kurie kiekvieną dieną pamokslauja Krišnos sąmonę.
If the people of this planet actually recognized who they really are, they would be offering obeisances.
Ir jei žmonės suprastų ir atpažintų, kas jie tokie yra, jie greičiausiai jiems lemtųsi.
But my dear Vaishnava, how can I serve you?
Mano brangus Vaishnava, kaip aš galiu to pasitarnauti?
You see, there is no greater good fortune than meeting a Vaishnava.
Ir nėra didesnės sėkmės, kaip sutikti Vaishnavą.
Because actually serving a Vaishnava is more auspicious than serving Krishna himself.
Todėl, kad pasitarnauti Vaishnavui yra daug palankiau nei pasitarnauti pačiam Krišnai.
So if one has the opportunity to serve a Vaishnava,
Todėl žmogus turi galimybę pasitarnauti Vaishnavui.
it is actually a greater opportunity than serving Krishna.
Tai yra didesnė galimybė nei pasitarnauti Krišnai.
So they don't recognize what is a Vaishnava.
Todėl žmonės net pažįsta, nežino, kas yra Vaishnavai.
Even if the Vaishnava humbly begs them, please take this book, give a contribution, they rudely walk away, you see.
Net į nuolankus Vaishnava jiems siūlo knygą ir prašo paaukoti, jie tiesiog numoja ranką.
They are so much blind to what is a Vaishnava.
Ir tik yra aklų žmonių, kurie nemato Vaishnavų.
So the Vaishnavas, even though they're being neglected,
Ir Vaishnavai nors ir būna atstumti
even though they're being ignored,
ir ignoruoti,
even though they're being abused even sometimes, like Lord Jesus was crucified,
ir net jei būna nuskriausti, kaip viešpats
they still mercifully travel all over the world to give their association to the suffering people of this planet.
Kaip Kristus buvo nukryžiuotas, jie vis dėlto nepaisant to keliauja aplink pasaulį ir nepaisant visų kančių pamokslauja.
The Vaishnavas are so great.
Ir Vaishnavai yra tokie.
They are so exalted personalities.
Jie labai išaukštintos asmenybės.
Therefore we pray for their mercy.
Todėl mes meldžiame jų malonės.
We offer our obeisances at their feet.
Lenkimės jų pėdams.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Since this is the last chance for answering questions,
Ir kadangi šiandien yra paskutinis šansas atsakyti į jūsų klausimus
until October,
iki
when I
spalio,
come back again,
kai aš vėl sugrįšiu.
I'm giving some extra opportunity now if you have any questions.
Todėl mes visą likusį laiką šiandien skirsim klausimus, jei jūs turite jų.
Teko girdėti, kad šiandien yra ypatinga diena, guru dievybių atėjimo diena, pasirodymo diena. Gal galėtų guru visiems apie tai truputį papasakoti?
We know that today is a very auspicious day, the appearance of your personal deities, Radha-Damodar. And may you tell us something about this?
Yes.
Tiesa.
These were the personal deities of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami.
Ir tai yra asmeninės Tamal Krishna Goswamio dievybės.
And he gave them to Vishnu Priya Mataji as a gift.
Jis padovanojo jas Mataji Vishnu Priya.
So it was an amazing day when they were discovered.
Ir tai ir buvo nuostabi diena, kai jos buvo atrastos.
His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami was walking on Juhu Beach in Bombay.
Ir Tamal Krishna Goswamis vaikštinėjo džiugų paplūdimių Bombėjuje.
If you're familiar with Prabhupada's Bombay Leela, you know every morning Prabhupada go for Juhu Juhu Beach morning walk.
Ir jei atsimenat Prabhupados žaidimus, tai yra jo istorijas, kad jis kiekvieną rytą eidavo pasivaikščioti į džiugų paplūdimį.
It's only about 10-minute walk from our temple.
Ir ten maždaug 10 minučių kelias.
And then it's a big, huge beach, big, wide sand, very nice beach, very nice.
Labai labai nuostabus paplūdimys, baltas smėlis.
Many gentlemen go for their morning walks on that beach in Bombay.
Daugybė džentelmenų rytais ten vaikšto.
So Prabhupada actually one time said, I become purified by walking on Juhu Beach.
Ir Prabhupada sakydavo, kad aš apsivalau vaikščiodamas džiugų paplūdimiu.
So it's a very special place, the Juhu Beach.
Todėl ta vieta, tas paplūdimys yra labai ypatinga vieta.
A place of Prabhupada's transcendental pastimes.
Vieta, kur Prabhupada atliko savo transcendentinius žaidimus.
So many devotees, when they go to Mumbai, they go for a walk on Juhu Beach.
Todėl daugybė atsidavusių, kai vyksta į Bombėjų, būtinai eina pasivaikščioti.
So they can remember Srila Prabhupada's Juhu Beach Leela.
Kad galėtų atsiminti Srilas Prabhupados džiugų paplūdimio.
So anyway, one morning Tamal Krishna Goswami was walking on Juhu Beach with many devotees and disciples.
Vienaip ir kitaip, Tamal Krishna Goswamis vieną rytą su daugybė atsidavusių vaikštinėjo tuo paplūdimiu.
And astrologically, it was a very auspicious moment.
Ir astrologiniu požiūriu tai buvo labai palankus.
The moon was setting in the west and the sun was rising in the east. They were just opposite each other.
Ir mėnulis leidosi vakaruose, o saulė kilo rytuose.
And that day the water was the water was very far out to sea. The tide comes in, you see, and then the tide goes out. You don't have the ocean here. But in ocean areas, sometimes the tide will be very low, the ocean will be very far out to sea, and then sometimes the tide will come in. It happens like every day, there's different cycles of the tide.
3 Sandhyas it happens.
Huh?
3 Sandhyas it happens. Morning, noon,
3 Sandhyas, yeah. So at this moment the tide was very far out to sea, exposing areas of the beach which were not normally visible.
Kaip žinom, būna maninė atoslūgis ir potvynis, ir tą dieną atoslūgis buvo labai didelis ir buvo galima matyti tokias vietas paplūdimio, kurios
His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami, he noticed something unusual, something shiny in the sand.
Ir Tamal Krishna Goswamis staiga pamatė kažką tokio neįprastos švytinčio smėlyje.
So he told one of the devotees to see what that is and pick that up.
Ir jis paprašė vieną bhakto, kad jis pažiūrėtų, kas ten.
And it was an amazing thing. It was a deity of Krishna, about this big.
Ir jie pamatė, kad tai yra Krishnos dievybė, maždaug tokio dydžio.
So they took this deity back to the temple.
Taigi jie parsinešė šitą dievybę į šventyklą.
And now it was time for breakfast.
Ir tada kaip tik buvo laikas pusryčiams.
So Tamal Krishna Goswami started eating his breakfast.
Taigi Tamal Krishna Goswami pradėjo pusryčiauti.
And then his conscience started bothering him. How can I eat? Krishna has been there going hungry for how many years? We do not know. He's hungry like anything. And I'm sitting here eating. I'm not feeding Krishna.
Ir jis kažkas kalbėti iš vidaus, kad kaip aš dabar galiu valgyti, kad Krishna tikriausiai tiek daug metų nevalgė ir kaip aš...
So immediately stopped eating.
Jis taip pat sustojo valgęs.
And he began polishing the deity.
Ir pradėjo poliruoti dievybę.
Because he'd been very tarnished being under the water for so long. He polished the deity, made him very shiny, and they had a cooked a very nice feast for the deity, you see. So in this way, and then the Queen of Jaipur heard that this Krishna had been discovered. So she gave a Radharani to match.
Ir jį, padarė...
Same size Radharani. So His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami, he traveled with these deities around the world for many, many years.
Ir daugybę metų Tamal Krishna Goswamis keliavo po pasaulį su šitomis dievybėmis.
But then he bestowed them upon Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi Dasi.
Bet laikui atėjus jis padovanojo.
Understanding her great qualification to serve these deities.
Pamatęs jos neeilinę kvalifikaciją tarnauti toms dievybėms.
And now we're most fortunate that they're with us.
Ir dabar mes esame
blessing us with their Sangha.
labai palaiminti, kad jūs yra su mumis tos dievybės.
Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. Next question. Yeah.
May you tell something about Guru Tattva?
Guru Tattva. Yes. The most important principle is, according to Rupa Goswami, this is not my idea. Rupa Goswami says, Adhau Gurashrayam, which means the very first principle in bhakti is to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. One should take instructions from him. One should take diksha from him. In this way, one should follow his instructions. One should inquire from him how to advance in Krishna consciousness. These are the descriptions given by Rupa Goswami. Is explained by Srila Prabhupada in the Nectar Devotion. As we mentioned in the initiation lecture yesterday, one's deathlessness begins at the moment of initiation. And Srila Prabhupada points out in the Nectar Devotion that one is not connected actually with Krishna without being initiated. One may have a very nice lamp, but if it's not plugged into the wall, it won't produce any illumination. So, Krishna is the powerhouse, the disciple is the lamp, and the guru is the wall outlet, you see. So one needs to be plugged in Krishna. So it's important that every person who comes to ISKCON, take a spiritual master. Once you take diksha, then that you're eternally connected with that particular spiritual master. He becomes your eternal father. We do have a system of formal shelter where you get the pranam mantra. But that is not diksha. In fact, up until the very moment before the ceremony, even if I've been chanting the pranam mantra of a particular guru, according to ISKCON law, I can change guru. Even if I've been chanting his pranam mantra for many years, I can up until the very moment of the initiation ceremony, I'm free to change my guru. All I would have to do is tell the new guru that now I want to become your disciple, and tell the old guru that I've now given up chanting your pranam mantra, I'm going to take this guru instead. So the acceptance of the spiritual master is very, very important thing. Shakshat dharit venas samashta shastrayir. According to all the revealed scriptures, he is non-different from Krishna. So, according to this verse, the spiritual master is invisible also. Even though he is Krishna, he is non-different from Krishna, that remains, for many people, for most people, that remains invisible. They see the spiritual master as an ordinary man. They don't see that he's non-different from Krishna. So it's important we understand, as Prabhupada says in this purport, do not see with material eyes, but purify your senses and engage in the service of the Lord.
Bet palikite savo jutimus ir užimkite jūs tarnystę Krishnai.
And then gradually you can realize who is a Vaishnava.
Ir tada palaipsniui jūs galėsite suprasti, kas yra Vaishnava.
In the same sense, you can gradually realize who is a spiritual master.
Ir tokiu pat būdu jūs palaipsniui galite suprasti, kas yra dvasinis mokytojas.
Who is that person who is non-different from Krishna?
Kas yra ta asmenybė, kuri nesiskiria nuo Krišnos.
Who is willing to take me back to home, back to Godhead.
Kuris trokšta sugrąžinti mane atgal pas Dievą.
That vision gradually comes by purifying the senses, by engaging in bhakti yoga.
Ir tai palaipsniui tampa suprantama, apvalius juslės bhakti jogos pagalba.
Any other questions?
Kas dar turi klausimų?
Yeah.
O pati iniciacijos ceremonija, kada tas pats momentas vyksta, ar kada žmogus širdimi priima mokytoją, ar tiesiog tos formalumas, kada iniciacijos ceremonija vyksta, kada tas tikroji mintis su mokytoju vyksta?
Then the real acception of Guru is accomplished. Then one accepts him by his heart at the very moment of ceremony.
Now there is two principles here.
Yra du principai čia.
Prabhupada mentions in his own experience
Ir Prabhupada savo patirtį.
That when he first met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur,
Paliudija, kad kai pirmą kartą sutiko savo dvasinį mokytoją Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
that as soon as he was defeated by the arguments of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur,
Kai jis buvo nugalėtas Bhaktisiddhantas Thakuras Saraswati,
he said, immediately I accepted that here is my spiritual master.
jis nedelsiant priėmė, kad tai yra jo dvasinis mokytojas.
Prabhupada said, quote, practically he initiated me.
Ir Prabhupada cituoja, kad jis praktiškai mane tuo metu inicijavo.
Now it took 11 years before he actually got his diksha.
Ir praėjo 11 metų, kai jis gavo savo dikšą.
But for all practical purposes, Prabhupada was already a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta from that very first meeting.
Bet iš tiesų jisai nuo pat pirmo susitikimo jau buvo tapo mokiniu.
Now in ISKCON there is a rule saying that, you can't choose your guru until you've been following Prabhupada's siksha for at least 6 months.
Ir ISKCON sakoma, kad žmogus negali pasirinkti guru palas 6 mėnesius, kaip sako, nepriima.
But Srila Prabhupada didn't follow such rule when he accepted Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati.
Bet Srila Prabhupada nesiekė tokią taisyklę, kai jis priėmė dvasinį mokytoją Bhaktisiddhantą Saraswati.
As soon as he heard from him, immediately, yes, this is my spiritual
Ir
master.
kai tik iš jo išgirdo, jis nedelsiant suprato, kad yra jų dvasinis mokytojas.
So that happens in ISKCON also. Even before devotees, follow the procedure of chanting 16 rounds for 6 months and following the 4 rules. Sometimes, especially a new person who's just coming, they meet one of our gurus and they become so inspired. I want to surrender to him, accept him as my spiritual master. They hadn't even started chanting yet.
Ir tai vyksta ir ISKCON, nepaisant visų taisyklių, kurias turėtų tarsi vykdyti bhaktai, atėję nauji žmonės, jie pamatė guru ir įsikvėpę, jie iškart supranta, kad nori.
Being inspired by that spiritual master, they do everything. They start chanting, they start following the principles. So that's also another way of accepting a spiritual master.
Kada jie įsikvėpę, pamatė mokytoją, jie pradeda taip pat laikytis principų, kartuoti 16 ratų.
This is called Pata Pradarshaka Guru, you see. Guru who shows the path.
Tai yra vadinama guru, kuris parodo kelią.
The Pata Pradarshaka Guru can be accepted immediately within the heart.
Ir toks guru gali būti priimtas nedelsiant savo širdį.
Without any other principle, just within one's heart, one can immediately accept. That Guru who shows you the pathway, inspires you to take up bhakti yoga, you can immediately accept him as Pata Pradarshaka Guru.
Ir žmogus gali nedelsiant be jokių taisyklių ir reguliacijų, jis priima širdim dvasinį mokytoją, įsikvėpia.
And then after going through all the, the standard ISKCON procedures as outlined by our GBC laws, then one can become an initiated disciple either of him or of another guru.
O vykdydamas visas ISKCON taisyklės ir reguliacijas, žmogus gali priimti oficialią dikšą.
But Srila Prabhupada explains that generally that first guru, he generally becomes the Diksha Guru. Generally, that's the way it works.
Bet Prabhupada aiškina, kad dažniausiai tas pirmasis guru tampa dikšą guru.
Because he's the one who inspired you.
Todėl, kad jis yra tas, kuris jūs įkvėpia.
So naturally you feel some gratitude. This person has saved my life by inspiring me to become Krishna conscious. Now I want to give my life to him as a
Todėl
disciple.
žmogus dažnai jaučia dėkingumo, kad štai šitas mokytojas mane įkvėpė, išgelbėjo mano gyvenimą, todėl aš noriu jam atsiduoti.
Vishnu Priya Manaji, you had your hand up.
I had my hand up. Prabhupada, you said about that how Prabhupada accepted Bhaktisiddhanta on the spot that this is my guru.
Jūs pasakot, kaip Prabhupada priėmė savo mokytoją Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvatį per akimirksnį.
But Prabhupada was very much knowledgeable about the Siddhanta, and Prabhupada has seen many bogus gurus and all that.
Bet Prabhupada labai gerai išmanė filosofiją ir matė daugybę netikrų mokytojų.
And the difference would be sometimes we see some just new bhakta comes in. They may not be chanting, they may not know the philosophy, and they just out of sentiment accept the guru. Here is my guru. So how would you explain that to me?
Ir kartais mes matom, kad ateina
What is the difference?
jauni bhaktai ir galbūt jie nežino nei filosofijos, neturi jokios patirties ir galbūt priima mokytoją iš sentimentų. Kaip jūs tai paaiškintumėt, kaip turi vykti?
How could I explain that?
This is just who does not know philosophy also.
So what's the question?
The question is that if that is acceptance of the spiritual master is genuine, or is just a sentiment.
It could be either way.
Na, mokytojas sako, kad gali būti ir taip, kad iš tikrųjų žmogus gali ir tikrai priimti, bet ir sentimentaliai.
So how could we recognize that it's just a sentiment?
Well, if it's genuine, then that person will be very inspired to read Prabhupada's books and follow the instructions in Prabhupada's book.
Ir jei apsisprendimas, įsikvėpimas yra tikras, tai tas žmogus tikrai nuoširdžiai skaitys Prabhupados knygas ir visą seks procesu.
And if it's just some stupid sentiment, you know,
Tai tik tais kvailas sentimentas.
it's just the old pet dog mentality, you know. Somebody's looking for a pet dog,
Žmogus tiesiog
not a spiritual master.
tokia nuotaika, kai jis ieško šunelio.
Any other questions?
Kas dar turi klausimą?
Jeigu, tarkim, mokinys jisai negrįžta į dvasinį pasaulį, ar kitą gyvenimą guru yra ta pati džyva, ar tai gali būti kita džyva?
If a devotee does not come back to the spiritual world at one life, who is his spiritual master next life? The same person, or it may be another one?
We see that in the case of Bimalmangala Thakur,
Mes matome, kad Bimalmangalos Thakuro atveju
his spiritual master in his previous life was Somagiri.
jo dvasinis mokytojas ankstesnį gyvenime buvo Somagiri.
And he had advanced all the way to the Bhava stage. He was very close to Prema.
Master?
Bhava stage, he was almost to perfection
That master or Bimalmangala?
in his previous Bimalmangala.
Ir Bimalmangala Thakuro jisai beveik pasiekė Bhavos lygį.
So, because he was a highly advanced devotee, they come back. He came back in a rich family.
Ir kadangi jis buvo labai, jis geras atsidavęs, bet jis toliau gyveno turtingų šeimų.
But rich family also, it means a lot of facility for spiritual life, but it also, because you don't have to work so hard, but it also means a lot of facility for sense enjoyment.
Ir jis gyveno turtingų šeimų ir turėjo, sakant, buvo nepriklausomas užsidirbti pragyvenimą, kad nebūtų daug vargų, bet tuo pačiu jis turėjo.
So he became what we call nowadays a playboy, you know.
Ir jis, kaip šiais laikais mes vadinam,
Womanizer, running after women.
Don Juan.
He had a girlfriend, Chintamani,
Ir jis
prostitute girlfriend.
įsigijo, reiškia, draugužę Čintamanį.
But it turned out that girlfriend was actually his guru from his previous life.
Bet iš tikrųjų, jinai buvo jo guru iš ankstesnio gyvenimo.
The spiritual master came back as a prostitute just for the purpose of saving his own disciple from the cycle of birth.
Atėjo kaip laisvo elgesio moteris tam, kad išgelbėtų savo mokinį.
So the same guru that you had in your previous lifetime, he can come back again in any arrangement made by Krishna to save you.
Ir todėl guru tikrai, jeigu jums nepavyko, gali ateiti kitą gyvenimą pagal kažkokį Krishnos.
Therefore, do not trouble your spiritual master.
Todėl jokių būdų
Who is your Guru Maharaj?
netrikdykit savo dvasinį mokytoją. Kas jūsų dvasinis mokytojas? Bhaktivikašas man.
So he is he is one of my dearest godbrothers, a great Vaishnava acharya.
Jis didis Vaishnavas ir vienas iš
You must be very, very careful that you become perfect in this lifetime. So you do not oblige your Guru Maharaj to take birth again to save you. Because any devotee who's sincerely trying to go back to God, that spiritual master, he has to take birth after birth after birth to save his disciple. We sing every morning in Guru Puja prayer, Janme Janme Prabhu Se. So your spiritual master, Bhakti Vikas Swami, he is eternally your Guru. Even if you take birth again, he has to reappear to save you. So you must be very, very careful to go back in this lifetime. Next question. Yeah.
O jeigu žmogus, sakykim, širdim priima guru, ar guru galbūt ar guru jaučia kažkokį, kontaktą, kažkaip tai pajaučia mokytas.
If one accepts Guru by his heart, in his heart, does spiritual master feels something that...
Oh yes.
Okay.
Spiritual master, within your heart you feel this is my Guru, that feeling will be conveyed to the spiritual master also. Next question.
Žmonės, kai mes gyvenam, dar neturim to dvasinio ir matymo, ir daug ko nematom. Kaip mums elgtis, nes nematydami su kuo bendraujam, mes darom žydimus. Kaip mums elgtis? Žmonės.
Of course we have no the spiritual eyes and sight, and how should we treat when we are associating with elevated persons?
When you're dealing with elevated persons, you should bow down at their feet. You should serve them, and you should learn from them, inquire submissively how to advance in Krishna Bhakti.
Jo, bet klausiu apskritai, ne tik mes nežinom, ar ten Vaishnavas ar ne Vaishnavas.
Sometimes we even don't know if he is Vaishnava or elevated or not. How should we treat?
Read Prabhupada's books. See who is purely representing Prabhupada's books. By their example and by their words. That's how you know. You become my disciple now. You could even reject me, you see, if I don't live up to what's in Prabhupada. That's how important Prabhupada's books are. They are the standard of what is a sadhu, what is a guru. You must always see through the eyes of Srila Prabhupada's books. You're a law student, a lawyer now, you're a lawyer. So this is transcendental law. These are law books. You should know these law books, like you know the law books, Karmi law books, Lithuanian law books. Now you know that you must know these law books inside and out. Srila Prabhupada told us that. He said you should know these books just like a lawyer knows his law books. Next question. What activities is the most pleasure, give them all the highest pleasure for the spiritual master? If you love Krishna, next question. Yeah.
be meilės, kartais net nesuvokiam, kam tai daroma, ar tai duoda dvasinius rezultatus irgi kažkokius.
Does give any results the devotional service which is done like a ordinary work without any love?
Any type of service done knowingly or unknowingly will give you benefit. But the more that you're conscious that this is service to Krishna, and the more that you do it with loving feeling, you get more benefit. So you should always try to do it knowingly. This is for Krishna, and let me do it with love. Don't do the service mechanically. Just like these girls here are making garlands, you see. They should have a vision. This is for Krishna. Actually, there's a mundane example in this connection. There were 3 workers laying bricks. You know they had the bricks, the buildings, the bricks. Yeah. There was 3 workers laying bricks, and one worker was obviously miserable. He was doing it, and he wasn't at all happy. And the other worker, he was kind of like okay, he was doing it, and he wasn't so miserable, he wasn't so happy, he was just kind of doing it. And the third worker, he was completely enlivened. He was doing it just so fired up. They were all doing the same thing, but 3 different states of mind, you see. So this man, he was wondering, why is it these 3 workers, they're doing the same thing with a completely different feeling. So he thought he would ask the workers, you know. He asked the first worker, what are you doing? He said, I'm laying bricks. He asked the second worker, what are you doing? He said, I'm making a wall. He asked the third worker, who was completely enlivened, what are you doing? He says, I'm building a temple for Krishna. So you see, the vision made all the difference. They're doing the same activity, but according to your vision, you can be miserable, you can be bored, or you can be completely enlivened. So this applies to every service you have here for our ISKCON movement here in Kaunas. You can be miserable while you're doing it, you can be bored, or you can be completely enlivened. What are you doing, Prabhu? I'm washing the pots. You see? What are you doing, Prabhu? I'm cleaning up Krishna's kitchen. What are you doing, Prabhu? I'm participating in making a spiritual revolution to deliver the people of this country. All 3 of them are washing the pot. But the 3 different visions, you see. 3 different visions. In the early days, devotees were so fired up because Prabhupada inspired us with this revolutionary vision that we're going to save the whole world. And everything we're doing is to save the world. Therefore, devotees were so fired up they could go anywhere and do anything. For Prabhupada, you see. So we have to have that same vision now. And then we'll be so fired up. It'll be just like when Prabhupada was here. Actually, Prabhupada is here. We just have to get in the mood, and then we will feel how Prabhupada is here at every minute. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Next question.
Kitas klausimas.
Dažnai tenka susidurti su tokiu reiškiniu festivaliuose, kad bhaktai galbūt ypač naujesni, jie kelia į mangalaratį, bet paskui dieną paskaitose nedalyvauja mokytojai, nes miega. Kas yra palankiau? Ar vis dėlto sėdėti paskaitose? Žodžiu, ar į mangalaratį kelti, ar klausyti po to mokyti paskaitų?
Sometimes we see in the festivals, big festivals, that Vaishnavas are getting to the Mangalarati, but later they have to sleep and do not attend classes. And how should it be done? Like, what is the better, to go to Mangalarati and then take a...
What's the question?
How to do?
How to get to Mangalarti?
No, but they are not. If they get to Mangalarti, they do not attend classes.
Because they rest.
Yeah, because they rest.
Oh, they go to Mangalarti and they sleep during class?
Yeah. What is more important, to go to Mangalarti?
Sleep after class. Sleep during breakfast.
Reikime mėgoti per pusryčius.
Actually, Prabhupada wanted that everyone should attend Mangalarti and attend the class. Do you want to please Prabhupada or not? Tabasa Brahmacharina. Tabasa Brahmacharini. Everyone should come to Mangalarti and everyone should come to class. And if you live at a distant place and you can't do it, then you should study Bhāgavatam and have Mangalarti at your own home. Why do you want to cheat yourself out of the nectar? Don't you want to be swimming in an ocean of bliss at every minute? If you will offer Garbhastakam prayers and an arti every morning, and you'll chant 16 rounds and read the Bhāgavatam for a few minutes every day, you'll be amazed at how you're swimming in an ocean of bliss 24 hours a day. Why would anybody want to swim in an ocean of poison? When you can be swimming in an ocean of bliss, I can't understand it. It's your choice. No one's going to force you. We're simply giving you a loving invitation. Attend Mangalarti, chant 16 rounds, here study the Bhāgavatam, and then you can take a nap if you need it.
Mes duodam tokį labai malonų pakvietimą, kad žmogus turi keltis į Mangalarti, kartuoti 16 metų, paskaityti Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, po to gali pailsėti.
Questions more?
Kas turi dar klausimų?
Kalbėjom apie tai, kaip atpažinti Vaišnavą. Ar kiekvienas, kuris kalba apie Krišną, jau yra Vaišnavas?
How one can recognize a Vaishnava? Is it everyone who speaks about Krishna and Vaishnava?
No, they have to have good behavior also.
Yeah, jie turi taip pat ir elgtis atitinkamai.
Apani achari prabhu jiveri sikaya. One must first practice and then preach.
Pirmiausia, žmogus turi praktikuoti ir paskui tik pamokslauti.
So, if anyone is talking about Krishna, that's very nice. He's not an ordinary person.
Žmogus kalba apie Krishną, tai labai gražu, jis nėra paprastas vedėjas.
Out of the world population, he's certainly a great soul.
Ir tarp pasaulio žmonių jis yra viena iš didžiųjų.
But in the community of Vaishnavas,
Bet Vaishnava bendryje.
then we should see who is of proper behavior also.
Ir mes galime matyti, kas taip pat ir elgiasi tinkamai.
Those who only speak about Krishna, but they don't have proper behavior, they're called Kanishta Adhikari, materialistic devotees.
Ir tie, kurie kalba apie Krishną, bet nesielgia kaip pridera, jie vadinami Kanishka Adhikari.
We offer them respect, but we don't take our siksha from them.
Mes rodom jiems savo pagarbą, bet neklausom jų pamokymų.
We encourage them, yes, it's very nice you're talking about Krishna.
Mes skatinam juos, sakom, kad labai gerai, kad jūs kalbate apie Krishną.
But we take our shiksha from those persons who set proper example. That's where we take our shiksha. And we mercifully give shiksha to those materialistic persons to help them come up to the proper standard. Any other questions?
Žmogus yra valdomas kūnu ir jisai nuo kūno turi tam tikrus skonius ir viską. Ir jam, sakysim, kiaulės, sakysim, turi tam tikrą skonį ir jam gauti kažkokį pasiūlysi gerą dalyką, jisai nesupras. Jam atrodys keista. Ką jam daryti? Koks jo, kaip jam gauti tą aukštesnį skonį? Prie jo, kad jisai norėtų jo. Nes
how can one get a higher taste? Because usually people they are attached to the material taste and
Yes, how can one get higher taste? It's very simple. It's described in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, first canto. Sushushroshadadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syanmahatsevaya Vipra Punya Sevana Kirtana. By serving those devotees who are completely free from all vice, great service is done. By such service one gains an affinity for hearing the messages of Vasudeva. So if you will serve pure devotees, then automatically you will get taste. All you have to do is serve them. What to do if they are not physically present? Then whatever orders they have given you, those you serve very faithfully. So now you have a spiritual master. So you should serve him as much as possible. Serve him personally when he is present, and serve when he is physically absent. You serve his instructions with full enthusiasm 24 hours a day. And by that service to the spiritual master, you will develop very strong taste in Krishna consciousness. Questions more? Okay, stop here. Antarad Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.
Śrīman Sankarshan Das Adhikari Maharaj ki
jai.